The following content is intended for a mature audience only. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Boom, boom. We're on British Bears, coming to you from another land. The British Bears Show, another kind of fan. Bears fans all day, Bears fans all night, 365 days, 5,000 miles away. Hey, hey, hey! The British Bears, the Irish Bears, the German Bears, the Polish Bears. Wait, what? We are bears. We are bears. We are bears. The British Bears. The British Bears. Welcome to the British Bears.
And now your hosts, Jason UK Bears and Dave Bears UK.
Good evening, everyone. You want me, I can't do it. I can't do what Shorty does. He puts the tune back on, doesn't he? So I try it. Oh, no, I won't. I'm not doing it. I'm not messing with
Yeah,
stuff.
when you watch it on YouTube, it goes through really good. But on the computer, I'll get little bits. But what I do get, I love it. I love the.
What is dancing? I know. Welcome back, mate. Welcome back, everyone. We've been away for a little while. I know Chris, our Oppo, is at a gig tonight, so couldn't make it. He's not a big fan of the off season, but me and Dave were chatting, and we fancied just having a little bit of a recap of the off season. So, how are you doing, mate?
Doing all good, mate. Apparently, Chris has gone down the Flat Cap and Whipper pub tonight for a Taylor Swift tribute band.
For real.
But you knew that.
Yeah. I don't engage with the Taylor Swift chat like you guys. But yeah, we're good. Enough of that. Anyway, hello to everyone in the chat as usual. Armando is in, Lord Crimson's in, Rick Gonzalez. It's always great to see you guys. Shorty is in the house as well, working hard as usual, but he always manages to drop in. Thanks, mate, for setting up the show. Yeah, the off season, mate. It's Should we start with free agency? What do you think of that? What's your main headlines?
Well, to be honest with you, after we got knocked out by the Rams and the Super Bowl and all that, and then there was a bit of a lull, isn't there, afterwards? And there's a few weeks to sort of like digest what happened throughout the season. And then when you start getting free agency, you get talking the draft and stuff like that. It's something I don't really get too excited about because it's really something unusual for what us guys are used to over in the UK. This year I showed a little bit of interest, and I obviously watched the BCP boys when they did a little bit of their live draft. I know you did a bit of a heroic one to about 3-4 in the morning, didn't you?
Oh yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, you looked it, and then yeah. And it was just one of those. And then I joined you guys briefly because I was still in bed. And then now the dust has settled, and I think it's a nice chance to talk about what's actually happened, the players we've signed. Obviously, we've had to let go of a few players as well. So yeah, quite interesting times down at Chicago.
Absolutely. I mean, we knew the big risk was going to be this. It was the safeties for sure, and cornerbacks too. So Barroom Network, is that Aldo? Good to see you, mate. Thanks for dropping in. The podfather himself. Yeah, we knew that our defensive backfield was going to get kind of stripped out a little bit. We were never going to get them all back. I was a little bit upset that Bayard didn't come back. I thought he was worth another contract. But I've got to say I'm happy with Kobe Bryant. That was our first big splash, wasn't it? Here's Aldo.
My son wasn't too happy.
Hey?
My son being a Seahawks fan, he wasn't particularly happy about it.
I don't know. Yeah. Is he still? Is he just as an aside? Is he still excited about the potential we might play them first game of the season? That's the rumor, isn't it? We might have them. We'll see. We've got to play them at some point.
We'll see.
We'll have to come around your house, mate. I'll give you some moral support and we'll watch it together. Foster, hello, buddy. Good to see you, man.
Cheers, Foster.
Yeah, I think Bryant is an excellent replacement. Like a real solid veteran, obviously Super Bowl winner. Man coverage is a strength of his, covers the field really, really well and can come down into the box pretty good. I think he's quite, I think, and we'll come on to the draft, obviously, but him and Thieneman are going to be, I think, excellent. That's an excellent pairing. Having been worried about what we're going to lose with Brisker and Bayard going in the offseason, I'm really excited to see what those two can do, the flexibility. But we'll talk about Thieneman later when we talk about the draft. But yeah, Bryant's a solid starter. He started 15 regular season games last year, 66 tackles, 4 interceptions, and 1 forced fumble. Like I say, pass coverage is his strength, covers the field really, really well. So yeah, I'm delighted with that. I think that's a really, really solid replacement, and he's a little bit younger than.
I'll tell you what, Jason, he hasn't come cheap though, has he? Was it 3 year, 40 million?
It was quite a bit, wasn't it? Yeah, something like
Massive,
that. Look at you've been doing your work, haven't you? You've been doing some research.
Bit of research, son. Bit of research. It's preparation. That's it. I've geeks now.
That's what you've done. All downhill from here.
No, but because I was obviously talking to my son Daniel about all this, and then
what's his track on it? As a Hawks fan,
yeah, he was gutted to lose Brian, but he understands how all this works probably a lot more than what I do. Very similar to you, actually. He's very much facts and figures, and obviously with salary caps and stuff like that, and that's where I struggle. If I was a Seahawk, I'd be absolutely fucking devastated that someone like Kobe's leaving you. I'm not sure who they got in to replace him, but
who cares?
No, but yeah, who cares? Yeah, but cool. Yeah, no, it's going to be a fantastic acquisition to the Chicago Bears, I think, and I can see him selling a few shirts and jerseys as well, mate. He's a name, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, absolutely. And also, I think it's such a perfect combination having him and a rookie together, especially one with the ability I think Thiedeman's got, which we'll talk about. But next one was obviously Devin Bush was the next big name, wasn't it? That's the two big ones, really. Linebacker from the Browns, one of the fastest linebackers in the NFL. 3 interceptions last year. One of them was a 97-yard touchdown, and he had another pick six too. So, and he started all 17 games, so he's really durable, which is really good news. Obviously, the replacement for Tremaine Edmonds, clearly, who went to, where did he go to? I can't remember now. Who cares? Bless him. Maybe he's had a good time, but he was 17 games last year, 125 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, 3 interceptions, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 8 passes defended. And I was going to mention it when we talk about DeMarco Jackson, but I'll say it now. DeMarco Jackson and Devin Bush were the 2 highest rated linebackers in pass coverage in the entire NFL last year. So that's obviously what they're trying to do in that center of the field, and I'm really happy with that. So I know that's what Tremaine was brought in for, wasn't he? But he didn't sort of live up to the billing. He started the season well, got injured, and there wasn't the same coming back. So I'm a bit sad to see him go, but I think we've got an excellent replacement. And I think, Crimson thinks the speed they added tells us everything about what the Bears brass believes was the problem last season. It's absolutely just speed everywhere on defense, isn't it?
And Devin, I've done my research again, Jace. He's not cheap either. He's done a 3 year, 30 million with 21 million guaranteed.
Okay,
that ain't bad, is it?
Probably means an out in the 3rd year, doesn't it? If they want to move on from him, I expect with that sort of numbers. But but Tremaine was expensive, though, wasn't he? He was going to cost us a lot of money.
What sort of season did the Browns have last year? I totally forgot.
Their defense was one of the best. The D was one of the best in the NFL.
Okay.
Which is one of the things I loved the most about us when we played them was we were getting a load of shit from Packers fans, weren't we? Because they lost to them, didn't they? And then someone was saying that about Jordan Love, and I saw a meme on Reddit. I can't remember where it was, talking about wait till you play the Browns, and then obviously Caleb blew them out, didn't we? We absolutely destroyed the Browns, and that's a legit defense that was last year. So you could argue that his numbers are going to look better because he obviously had Myles Garrett up front, and they had a sort of talent across the board. Exactly, Rick Crimson. They were one of the top teams in the league. But our offense was just too strong, man. We just got too many weapons.
And also, I've done a bit of research because obviously I knew you was out in the sticks for a little bit. So with Bush, that what you just said there, we've done a 97 yard return interception.
Yeah.
His average speed on that was 20.23 miles per hour.
Yep.
Now, that ain't bad over nearly 100 yards, is it?
No, it's pretty good, isn't it? He peaks quite wide. Well, I mean, nobody could catch him, and for a linebacker to outrun everyone is pretty good going, isn't it? So, like Crimson said, it's all about the speed.
Yeah.
No pun intended. But yeah, so I think he had a knee injury, didn't he? Yeah, 2020 had a knee injury, but then, like I say, last year he started all 17 games, so that's obviously behind him.
Good.
I think.
Yeah, that's good.
So we go on to the next one. The next one, which I thought was probably I think in order of kind of priority or sort of the amount of contribute, I think maybe, although it could be more of a rotation, is Cam Lewis, the DB from Buffalo. Did you get him? What's he on? What's he earning, Dave?
No, I don't. I've got no notes on him. I don't know too much about him.
Okay. I can help you there with a bit of that, mate.
Thank you, mate.
He's been a bit of a rotation. He hasn't been like a solid starter, but he's played 76 games with 10 starts. In 2025, he played all 17 for the Bills. 43 tackles, 33 solo, 2 forced fumbles, and 4 passes defended. And again, the big thing with him is his versatility. He's played nickel, he's played outside and safety. So I think they're trying to fit, basically get a lot of versatility on that defense, which I think is going to really help, especially with a couple of our guys having a bit of injury history the last couple of years. So we noticed the difference when Kyler Gordon went down, didn't we, with CJ Gardner-Johnson, who played well, was good for us, but he just didn't have the coverage ability in the slot that Gordon's got.
To be fair, Jace, last year a lot of players had to be flexible in their positions, didn't they? There was quite a lot of movement, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And I think that's what made. I know we talk about the season that's just gone by later on, but I think that's what made it special. Where players were asked to step out of their comfort zone and play in positions they're not 100% sure of. But it was fantastic, and good luck with him and all. You say he's come from the Bills, yeah?
That's right. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. He's 29 years old on a 2-year deal. So, yeah, versatility, healthy last year. Good signing, I think. Neville Gallimore's the next one, D tackle. Let's go to Slim Boogie here. Slimbo Boogie. Good to see you, man. Thanks for joining us. He says, Jalen and Mohammed are lockdown corners. Kyler, Bryant, Dylan, Tyreek, the Junkyard Dogs. The defense philosophy is lockdown secondary players led by Al Harris. Absolutely. Yeah, man, we're gonna mention the draft in a minute, Slim. But I'm really happy with that Malik Mohammed. They traded up 4 spots to get him, and I think that could be a real steal. So we'll talk about it in a minute when we come to the draft. In fact, I'll start that comment and we'll come back to yours, mate. But yeah, I'm fast to talk about Al Harris. I was going to mention the coaches later, but I'm really pleased we didn't lose him because there was all these rumours about him becoming a DC somewhere. But he got that secondary really firing, didn't he?
Well, to be fair, Joe, so at the end of the season, there was a lot of interest in a lot of our coaches, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was. Again, I'll talk about that in a bit, but later on. But we've not done too bad. I know the enemy went, didn't he? Declan Doyle went to be an OC, and we just promoted Press Taylor into our OC job, which I really like the idea of because our offensive coordinator isn't calling plays. So he's really that's continuity. When Caleb had the season he did, I'm just pleased we got someone that knows the system, knows the quarterback, and will just step into that role to be Ben Johnson's kind of right-hand man in training camp. So, yeah, happy with that. But, yeah, Bieniemy was gone. And I think, who else was there? I can't remember off the top of my head. But, no. What did we say? Neville Gallimore, that's the next one. Next one, mate. Defensive tackle. Was he at the Colts last year?
Yeah, I've got down he's the next Ram and the next Colt.
That's right. Quiet year in 24 with the Rams, but had a bit of a career year last year, 2025, with 38 tackles and 3.5 sacks. He's primarily seen as a run defender, to be honest, a run stopper. So he's kind of replacing, or the idea is that if on the rotation, he's replacing Andrew Billings, isn't he? So we'll see how he goes. But yeah, he is durable again. Another player that hasn't missed many games, only 4 games missed in 4 seasons. And he's on a 2-year, $12 million deal. So pretty sort of good value-ish as a rotational piece. But I think he's probably the most sort of significant of the D-line when we signed. But the other two, we'll just quickly touch on them, which are, where is he? Kentavious Street, who Dennis Allen knows, he coached him in his best season in 22. Nothing special again. And James Lynch, who some sites have got listed as a defensive end, and some say is a D tackle. But yeah, we'll see where they go. But those two, I think, are really just depth pieces, aren't they? But yeah, right, Crimson. Bieniemy loss was a tough one because he really got the juice going with the new, especially our rookie, didn't he, with our Coleman Unguy. But there was near zero chance. Well, he's gone back to Kansas City, hasn't he, to replace Matt Nagy. He was didn't have a great season with the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. So he's the OC there. So he's going to get something. But I can't see with our coaching staff though them letting that kind of like that attitude drop off, even if we lost Bieniemy.
I think Ben Johnson wouldn't allow it now. I think Ben Johnson definitely sets the tone.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. He sets the tone for this whole organisation, and you see it from training camp last year. You remember that the Miami Dolphins, it all kicked off, didn't it? In there was some scuffles in their joint training practice with the Dolphins, and they were saying that they thought we were playing too hard basically in training camp. So that's the kind of guy he is, isn't it? That's who we are. And I've got a cracking stat for you that relates to that in the stats bomb segment. So just hold on to your hats on that one.
And while we got him, did I read yesterday? It was Ben Johnson's birthday.
I don't know. I didn't send him a card. Did you? No.
You didn't send me one.
So you know who you are.
I think he was 40. For some reason, I think he was 40. One of the guys in the chats might be able to help me out on that one. But yeah, I'm sure he was 40 yesterday.
Yeah. Look at Slim, man. Slim's all over the draft picks, isn't he? He can help us with that in a bit. So again, I'll start that one. We'll come back to the draft later, mate. Tony Moy, hello, man. Good to see you. What's that I missed, Dave? I missed that, Dave. Wait, what? Shorty. He says, was it Ben Johnson's birthday? Was he 40 recently? That's what he's asking, Shorty. Maybe you'll know.
Well, I think it was. I need someone to have a quick look for me.
Someone will Google it. Someone will know.
I might just made it up after a few beers, but it's one of those.
Yeah, you imagined it. You dreamt it. Oh, let me just. Oh, sorry, man. I'm just. I don't know. Sorry. Oh, no, that wasn't. Sorry. Right, I'm getting distracted. Someone's distracting me here. Where am I? So Cam Lewis, Kentavia Street, Jedrick Wills, the offensive tackle, obviously was hey, commish, man. Good to see you, buddy. Well, I loved you on the show on Thursday. I really love. I think I put it in the comments on their show. I'm really enjoying seeing all some of the guys in the chat, in person on the shows. It's really cool. So yeah, good to see you, man. You know your stuff. Even though your mum's a Packers fan, which we won't discuss too much. But yeah, good to see you, man. Yeah, she said it in the chat. Oh, Armando. Where are you, Armando? There we go. Armando says Ben Johnson, May the 11th, 1986. So yeah, he was 40 yesterday. Happy birthday, head coach.
What coach?
Is that right? Yeah, it was yesterday. Yeah, anyway. Aldo knows too. He's got his finger on the pulse. Good man. But yeah, what did I say then? Jedrick Wills, right? He was a top 10, sorry. Wasn't he top 10? First round pick in 2020. Obviously, a lot of injury history. He missed the entire of last season with injury. Not injury. He basically focused on getting himself right, so there wasn't any further injuries. He had a big recovery. So, yeah, I think that's just another shot. That's not. I wouldn't say camp body because obviously he's a decent talent, but it's the injury problems. If you can put him behind him, he'll be competing for that left tackle spot, won't he? With Braxton and Theo Benedette and potentially Karan Amagaji if we ever see what he's made of. And they're holding the fort until hopefully, again, we have no idea what Ozzy Trapillo's coming back like because he had a massive injury, didn't he? Really absolutely gutted about that because he was looking like our future left tackle, wasn't he? So we'll have to see where that goes. Kamish. Thanks, bro. Yeah, she likes to troll my dad and I. She still thinks Rodgers is a QB. Excellent. Right. Okay. So, yeah, I think that's it. And now the only one we've missed is Khalif Raymond in terms of the. Go on, mate. Have you got something for Jedrick Wills?
Yeah, I've got Raymond down here, ex-Lion, wide receiver, but could be put in as a return specialist apparently.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it sounds like you know a lot more than what I do. Obviously, there's gaps that needed to be plugged, and it's just interesting that we've seemed to have gone with a couple of well-known names and a couple of players that sort of like they seem very healthy. They seem to be playing a lot of games for their team, and that's what we need. And because it does certainly sort out the men from the boys on a cold night down at Soldier Field, doesn't it? So yeah, I was happy with those free agencies, to be fair. And I watched a few of the videos of some of these guys, and they're looking good, mate. Some of them are looking good. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. That's not. I didn't see too much. Didn't watch too much tape on those guys. I watched a bit of stuff on the rookies, but I know that obviously Khalif Raymond, Ben Johnson, and Antoine Randall both know him from the Detroit days. I suppose he's going to compete for the wide receiver 3 job in camp. But you're absolutely right. He's brought in as a return specialist. We lost Devin Duvernay, didn't we, in the offseason? So they've got him and potentially Xavier Thomas, the rookie. He returned punts and kicks as well. So, yeah, Khalif Raymond was second team All-Pro in 2022 and 2024.
Oh, okay.
And in 2024, he led the NFL with 413 punt return yards, 13.8 average, and a 90-yard touchdown. So he's got the juice on the kick returns, that's for sure. So we'll look to see why they use him for that. But a player they know well, they'll know how to fit him into a system. Excited to see what he does. And that wide receiver room is looking stoked again, isn't it? Just as in after we lost DJ and Zacchaeus as well.
Zacchaeus, yeah.
But I know, yeah.
It was such a wonderful season last year, and it's just a shame some of them had to go, really. But hey ho.
Yeah. Hey, Alex is my name, mate. My favourite wankers. Hello, mate. Good to see you. Same to you, buddy.
Well, actually, I don't know if you can see my NFL cut, but it's got it on there.
That's it. Brilliant.
Yeah, we know what we are.
Exactly. But yeah, so that's, I think, really handy kind of like, I know that everyone's screaming about an edge, but again, we can talk about that at the end. Yeah, absolutely, Crimson. It'd be nice to have some good starting field position in 2026, man.
Yeah.
Makes such a difference, doesn't it? But yeah, we'll see. But no, that's the kind of it, really. I mean, I don't think anyone else has got anything to add about the sort of free agency. I know people were screaming for us to start Hendrickson, and I know then there was the Max Crosby stuff, but that was never going to happen, I didn't think. But
I didn't want him.
No.
I didn't want him.
What, Crosby or Hendrickson?
No. I don't know. I just think there was such a team spirit last year, and I don't want someone who's going to be taking all the headlines. And even when we played the Raiders, bloody camera every time went on Crosby. You got other players on the pitch there, so I'm glad he didn't come.
Yeah. Well, there was he failed the physical, didn't he, at Baltimore? So again, he's had an injury history of that knee, I think. So we'll see. But yeah, no, anyway, it's not our player, is he? So who cares? It's like, but yeah, there was a talk, and then obviously the draft. So we move on to the draft then.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Crimson. I kind of agree with that, and I think that's probably what they're thinking too. It says don't think the edge was an issue. They need someone that can get pressure up the middle, but it's a bit of both, though, isn't it? And I think if you extrapolate Booker's stats from the end of the season, because Booker started the season injured, didn't he? He came back in week 9 or something, and he ended up third in total pressures on the whole team. So they're hoping for a big breakout. I know there's obviously pictures going around social media of him absolutely ripped from training with bodybuilders over the off season. I'm kind of hopeful too. I'd love to see him take a big step up because I think he's got raw talent. And actually, Max Crosby is the comp that everyone makes, isn't it? Everyone keeps comparing him to Max Crosby in terms of his potential. So yeah, we'll see where that goes. But yeah, you're right, Crimson. If they can step up and avoid the pressure, edges will get home. I absolutely agree. You need someone who can collapse the pocket inside. If they can just step up every time, yeah. Tony Moy, Elliott. Okay, we'll put that one back there as well. I think I got that in my stats here. That Elliott. We'll put that there for later. But yes, move on to the draft, shall we? Start from go through the rounds. Go through the rounds. Dylan Thieneman. I could not believe he fell to us, man. I think all the mocks had him going at 18 to the Vikings, but they decided to take a massive risk on Caleb Banks, the D lineman with his dodgy foot. He's broken the same foot twice, and that worked in our favour. So yeah, I'm really delighted with the Thieneman pick. How about you?
I'm surprised we got him, especially after watching some of the videos and tape of him.
Yeah.
The one question I'd like to ask, say if another team did come in for him, can Gillian say, actually, I don't want? Can they pick who they want to play for as well, or do they have to go where they're drafted?
That's one of those things I don't really understand. I know that players, there is a couple of famous examples in there of players that have done that. Normally quarterbacks that say they won't go to a team, and I think they had to trade. Ended up trading them somehow. I don't know, but I think it is possible, but I don't know. I think it leaves a pretty sour taste, doesn't it? Why'd you say that, mate? Was there any sort of? Did you hear anything about
that? Sorry, I totally lost you there, mate. What was that?
Okay, I just wondered if you heard anything to that effect about him.
No. And that's one thing that could, it's just one of those things where, especially, some certain players, they don't want to travel too far from home or different states and stuff like that. And I get that. And being selected for a team that you don't necessarily might even suit your style of play. I always did wonder that. And when we watched sort of like transfers for the Premier League and soccer over here, you know straight away if a player is going to fit into a certain system and stuff like that. So that's just one question I wanted to ask really. If did other teams possibly come in for Dillian, and did he say no? Actually, I want to be a Bear. So
well, no, because we picked him, didn't we? So you can't. I don't think you can't refuse it on the day of the draft. You can't. There you go. Crimson saying, look, there you go. They can't. They can refuse to play for the team that drafts them, but they can't play for any other NFL team. They can, however, pressure teams to trade the pick. Okay. I mean, I'm not sure that you can actually say no. I'm not going up there. They call your name out and you refuse to go. I don't know if that. I don't think that's going to happen. But that's a pretty bad look at it. I think if you're doing that. Yeah. So.
No, and it's a good. It's obviously a position we need to fill. It seems to. The video I watched, what I liked about him, he was like he crouches down, and you can see him watching all the play going on. And he tries to anticipate what's going on. And when I saw some of the tape of him, I thought, yeah, he looks really good. I really liked him. And he sort of like gets him. I'm not going to call him a crab, but he sort of like crouched down, and he was like, you could see his whole body moving across. It's fantastic. So. Hopefully the coaches are getting to him and sort of like get him up from day one. Really, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, this thing that struck out obviously is this speed, isn't it? Again, he's versatile. He can play in the box, or he can cover quarters of the field or whatever. I think he can play robber too, so in that sort of middle zone. I've looked at sort of. I guess you can't tell things like football IQ from just watching tape, but from reading reports on him, they're saying that his anticipation and recognition of play recognition are excellent, with a high football IQ and a high football character as well, which is a big, like you said, it's the setting the culture, isn't it? So he's an explosive player. Obviously, we know his speed. He is so fast, rangy, covers the field. And then you see some of those plays he made where it looks like it's an absolute nail-on catch for the receiver, and he comes in and breaks it up. So as an explosive player, I think he misses the odd tackle, but no, he's good at in all areas of the secondary, and let's say playing down in the box too. We must have seen that one with the tackle for a loss where he actually he flies through the hole and gets the running back in the backfield. So yeah, I'm looking. He's been used on blitzes too. He was used on blitzes at Oregon, so I think he's that's it, Commish. So I remember that was Eli Manning, and that was it. He was one of the players who did the same thing. So he got drafted and then he got traded straight away.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like refusing to play for the team that drafts. He was effectively refusing to play for the NFL. It's say really, really bad form in it, but I guess it's who knows.
That's interesting. No, I've learned something there. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, but no, Feeneman really happy. I couldn't believe he fell to us. I thought everyone thought he'd be gone. I think we were talking about players like AJ Halsey for our safety spot, weren't we? We knew Downs would go potentially, and McNeil Warren could have been there, but yeah, I'm absolutely delighted. Couldn't believe it when Feeneman fell to us. I think, like I said earlier, him and Kobe Bryant are going to be an absolute handful in the backfield there. So really looking forward to seeing them two together. With Bryant's experience, being passed on, it should be pretty good. So second pick was centre Logan Jones, the 2025 Bennington Award winner for the best centre in the country, unanimous All-American, and in 2025 gave up no sacks and no pressures at all season. Thoughts?
No, that's interesting. Yeah, because obviously with Drew Bauman retiring, that was a bit of a major shock towards the end of the season. Yeah, he was only late 20s,
27,
28, 29.
Yeah. 27.
Yeah, and I read, what I did read, they were saying that the Bears were really quick to react to Drew sort of like retiring. They brought in Bradbury for this season to go centre, and they're looking at using Logan Jones as sort of like more set for the future, but to build up a lot of experience off sort of Bradbury. So that could be interesting. So, because I think I was so shocked that he retired, and I get it. Football's a physical game, and if you can come out of it with a state of fitness and health, that be you want to be fit and healthy for the rest of your life, really. So I can see, but getting Logan Jones in, I've seen a few videos of him. He's looking big lad.
Yeah, I see some reports saying they think he might be slightly undersized for a classic centre, but he's very mobile, and they obviously like him. So yeah, potentially short arms, but he fits our scheme. He fits a really sort of zone-heavy scheme, which is what we've got. He's very mobile. He's great on pulling and trapping, and so once he gets to the second level, he's pretty explosive. So he's super experienced as well. He's 51 starts in college, So I know they're saying that he's quite old, but I think for an O lineman, for a centre, I think he's almost a sort of day one starter. I could say potentially. I could see him doing that. I know Bradbury is obviously a solid pro, experienced, but I think that's going to have a straight competition. I think they got Bradbury in straight away. He's got 1 year left on his deal, just to see if in case their plan, the draft plan didn't go according to how they wanted it to. So after initial sort of thoughts, I think that's actually a pretty good. Some might say it's a little bit high for a centre, but we're filling needs, and I think they considered him the best player available. A lot of pundits have got him as the best centre in the draft. Like I say, Remington Award winner last year, so I think you can have no complaints about the quality of the player we're getting. As Crimson said, a bit expensive, but major needs solved for probably 10 years. Exactly. If you get that QB and centre link, agreed. It's probably the only guaranteed day one starter, but I think it was obvious because of our needs, though, Crimson. We had no other safety apart from Elijah Hicks, so I agree, though, totally. So, right, next one, Sam Roush, tight end.
Sam Roush, yeah, tight end.
That was a shock, wasn't it, for most people? Where's my start comment? Someone said about Roush. Who said something about Roush?
Well, to be fair, it was very noticeable last season where Ben Johnson really likes, Colston and Cole Kmet, and bringing another tight end in, it's going to be fantastic. It gives another option, another person to throw to, another little blocker in there. And it's probably my favourite position. I'm quite excited by the tight ends. I really like their play. So
exactly, that's your build, mate. You're more of a big sort of tight end kind of player, like Mike Ditka type.
Yeah, I like it. I like it, and then fair play. It's another attacking option for us, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, absolute unit. He's 6'6", 267 pounds. And he is kind of like everyone's saying it's for his blocking, but he's apparently got quite short arms. So they're saying that once he gets his hand a slightly slow first step, so he can sometimes get beaten on the inside by a fast edge. But once he gets his hands on you, and they said with smaller edges or linebackers, he's just like absolutely good. Solid blocking. They're not going to get off him. So isn't just exactly this is where I was going, Tony. You beat me to it, man. Isn't just. He's not. He's like a sort of do it all. And I think actually to replace Durham Smythe, who we lost to, I can't remember where he went, but we lost Durham Smythe, and he had some significant plays, didn't he? So yeah, it's a good idea, Commish. Bring him in to help your left tackle if they're struggling. Absolutely, but no, he's an absolute unit. But also he led the ACC tight ends with 545 receiving yards last year, 49 catches, and 342 yards after the catch, which also led the ACC. So he's still a danger in the pass game. So he's a kind of do it all as a third tight end. He's absolutely spot on. And to refer to what you said earlier about Ben Johnson, everyone was shitting themselves when he. Yeah, exactly. That's what someone's compared him to. Commish is very similar to Cole. Can kind of do both pretty well. So you imagine trying to cover all three of those. They put a 13 set out there. You got Colston Loveland, Cole Kmet, and then Sam Roush. It's like there's just mismatches all over the place. But yeah, to go back to Ben Johnson, who I think sometimes people forget he first started out, he was a tight ends coach. So he knows the position like the back of his hand, which is probably why he favours 12 and 13 sets quite a lot. So I think putting those three out there, plus his cover if one's injured or taking a break or whatever, he's a straight replacement for Durham Smythe and potentially better, I think maybe, but who knows. But I think a great piece. You could say he's a bit of a reach on basis he was, where he was kind of ranked before the draft. But I think with what Ben Johnson can do with three tight ends in the offense, I think as we showed last year, he kind of knows what he's doing, doesn't he? It's like that trust the process quote again, isn't it?
And it's such an exciting position, especially when we've got momentum going forward. I just love it, and I can't wait. And I think the guy that just stole your thunder, Tony, there he is again. I think that's my mate out in Sweden, actually, big Bears fan.
Oh yeah,
Tony? I think it's him. He knows his
can
stuff
you
as well.
confirm, Tony Moy, that you're Dave's mate in Sweden? But yeah, do you agree with his point? Do you helping his completion percentage?
Possibly.
I'll tell you something else, mate, that I spotted last year on one of my little jaunts into the stats book was that yeah, exactly. He's a weapon. If they match up Thomas on a linebacker, it's over. Xavier, we're not on to Xavier yet. Commish, you just hold your horses there, my friend. Do you mean Roush probably? But yeah. So what was I saying? Where was I? Oh yeah, last year. Sorry about. I remember obviously all the talk about Caleb's completion percentage, about it being one of the lower end of the stats of quarterbacks, right? What I did see on the stats was that there was one of the analysts, and I can't speak, I've had half a beer. One of the analysts on X, right, put that he noticed in one of the later games that the percentage of passes that Caleb threw at or behind the line of scrimmage was the lowest in like that season. And he looked back through the stats, through the record books, and essentially the amount of passes that Caleb threw at the line of scrimmage or behind, so those easy screen passes, dump offs to the running back, were the lowest by anyone in the last 5 years in the NFL. So the reason is one of the contributing reasons. I mean, we know there's issues, right? There's been drops. He's overthrown some players, but one of the main reasons why his completion percentage was lower is that he's thrown it down the field far more often than everyone else. So, sorry, I just need to stop looking at that. Beg your pardon. So yeah, he throws the ball downfield far more than anyone else does. So that's going to affect his completion percentage. But yeah, I remember it on a late sort of late in the season, an analyst on X put that he throws it down the field more than anyone else has in 5 years. So that's why he's not getting those easy screens or the easy dump offs that everyone else, because he's slinging it down the field, man. So yeah, let's go on to Xavier Thomas, our 4th round pick, wide receiver Xavier Thomas. I'll let you start with that one, mate. We've had a comment on there too about him already.
Well, 3rd round pick, wide receiver, come from Louisiana State. I haven't seen too many videos on him, but he's got to be decent. And when we got weapons with Roman Luther as well, wide receivers, he's going to come in possibly as another returner, maybe a punt returner to start off with.
Yeah.
3rd round pick. Interesting. Wide receiver, another
4th
position
round,
that we.
Come on, 4th.
Oh, sorry, mate. 4th round. Sorry, 4th round. You're ahead of me. Yeah, 4th round. I don't know too much about him, but he's come from LSU, so he's got to be half decent, hasn't he?
As Slimbo Boogie says, Xavier has the wide receiver comp of Rashid Shaheed and return specialist comp of Devin Hester. So that's not a bad one, is it? Certified SEC baller, week 1 game changer, 4.28 he ran in the 40. One of the fastest this year, or one of the fastest ever, actually. Getting into the 4.2s, obviously, is absolutely legit elite speed. You're absolutely right. He's a returner. He led the SEC in 2024 with 633 kick return yards. So that's what he's in there for, potentially. And then everyone needs to sort of not get too excited. We all remember Valus Jones, don't we? We had an athletic freak kick returner, and that didn't pan out very well. So, but looking at him in training camp, he's impressed already, apparently. So he's, I think he's like 5'10", 190 pounds. So he's small for a wide receiver, which traditionally there's like this sort of myth about, or if it's a sort of belief, that small receivers tend to have bad hands because they've only got small hands. They sort of haven't got the good hands. But he's been making some catches in early days of training camp, apparently, in rookie mini camp. So, and again, I watched some of his highlights, and he makes one in particular, one spectacular kind of diving catch. I don't know if you saw it. The ball's like inches off the ground. He's laid out, catching the ball. He seemed to get quite a few on the sidelines. He was really good in scramble drills. He's got elite speed, basically, absolutely elite speed. They used him as a bit of a gadget player, so he came out the backfield quite a lot, whether he's motioning in there and out and stuff. So I am really excited to see what Johnson's going to do with him. So, like I say, I'll compete for that 3rd or 4th wide receiver spot. We might see some of him as he progresses, but excited to see what he can do, man. Really excited to see what he can do. Absolute elite speed. So, and defenses have to play that. You can't just let a player go past you just because you think, he's a rookie or whatever. It just keeps the defense honest. If you've got someone who can take the top off that D any time, then he's a real asset, even if it's creating space for others. So, yeah, I'm really pleased with this, man. I know some considered it a bit of a reach, but we'll see what he does, man. We'll see what he does. So, yeah, excited for this one. Just absolute elite speed. We're faster everywhere, aren't we? I don't know if you guys saw it. Some of the guys in chat must have. You might have done, Dave. Is Swifty did a breakdown of the athleticism of our draft class. Have you seen that? You know the RAS, the relative athletic score that they use to measure basically it's like a number from 0 to 10 for a player's athletic ability based on all their drills at the combine. From 0 to 10, 10 is a perfect score. Essentially, once you're getting into the 9s, you're getting quite special in terms of elite, athleticism. Okay. Our average, so Swifty did his video. I recommend it. Have a look for it. Essentially, the average relative athletic score, the average RAS for our players in the whole draft class was 9.53, which is insane. That's like just mental athleticism. So that's what they've gone for. So they need to get the football smarts too, but obviously it isn't just about that. But yeah, really, really happy with sort of.
That's really interesting. I wonder what's led them down that path. Just speed, or
Well, the thing is, yeah, Shorty says my head's spinning with all the plays can create for Xavier. I think you can't. It's a bit of a cliche, but they use it in football, don't they? You can't coach or you can't teach speed. So it just makes a difference on defense. Obviously, it's about closing. Yeah, Crimson does his Pole's obsession with the RAS is a little nerve wracking. Like I said, we all remember Valence Jones, don't we? But it's a gal. I think they've done. I think what reassures me a little more about this one is that I think, as we saw from Ben Johnson, the influence he has on the draft, he knows how to pick a player and then he knows how to use them, doesn't he? So, which do you F? What's this? Ryan, hello, mate. What's going on here?
Oh, he's my mate. Yeah, I know him. He's a good lad. He's out in Chicago. All right,
Ryan. Okay, cool. Maybe you hit enter before he finished his sentence there, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolute elite speed. I recommend that video, like I say, 9.53 RAS, but we'll see where they go, how to get fitted in, but happy with him. Someone mentioned him. I'm going to go back to this star comment. Hold on, let me scroll up there. Is Slimbo Boogie again? He's all over these draft picks, man. As Malik Mohammed was our fifth round, or was he in the? No, he was in the fourth deal, was he? I didn't write this down. But anyway, it was our next pick. So Malik Mohammed, they traded up 4 spots to get this cornerback. Was he on the Longhorns? Was he Texas? Was he? I can't remember. But
Texas
yeah,
Longhorn.
Mohammed,
Yeah, he was.
Slim Boogie says as another certified SEC baller in caps. In 2025, he allowed a 57.8 passer rating when targeted and surrendered only 2 receptions of 11 plus yards all season. He's stealing my stats here, man. Slim, jeez, come on. 40-inch vertical with 4.4 speed, 32.5-inch arms. Yeah, absolutely right. Really sticky in coverage. Elite closing speed. I think he's the one also that had the fastest 10-yard split at the combine out of anybody. So over the first 10 yards of the 40-yard dash, he was the fastest of anybody. So he's got elite twitchiness, really explosive, super fast, great in coverage. Has only allowed 1 touchdown in each of his 3 seasons in college, so he doesn't give up big plays. He's solid, reliable, and has played inside, outside. So he's versatile too. Excellent in man coverage. Really happy with this pick. I think he's potentially be challenging, seriously challenging Tyreek Stevenson for the second slot opposite Jalen Johnson. I think he's going to be right up there. So we could see a lot of him once he gets the place, makes that adjustment to the NFL. Really pleased with this pick.
Yeah, there was a lot of excitement when Mohammed was drafted, and there was a good buzz about him as well. And there's a lot of positivity, and some of those stats there, I didn't realise he was. I'm just reading it now. He's got some good stats there already.
Yeah, exactly. So Ryan, he's finished his question, mate. So there you go. He says, which do you value more, athleticism or production? Well, I think we can see our staff develop, value the athleticism at the moment, don't they? They're focusing on it certainly, but that's. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'll come to Tony in a minute. But yeah, you're right. I think personally, I don't mind either way, to be honest. But the thing is, you've got to be able to make that step up, haven't you, from the college to the NFL, where everything's faster, everything's a little bit more tricky. So I really don't know, to be honest, Ryan. If I'm going to answer that question, I'm not sure, but. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, Dave. Athleticism versus production.
Well, no, it's that Ryan's asked the question, and it's really tough to answer at the moment. Obviously, basing it on statistics, they've got to be going for the athleticism, really. And
Shorty said production.
What Shorty's just put there, and it's got to be production at the end of the day, isn't it? It's got to be production at the end of the day.
We'll see, man. I guess we'll see. It's exciting. So, good time. Right. Okay. Keyshawn Elliott is our next pick, linebacker.
Yeah.
What you got from me, mate, on him?
All I've got a little bit is from Arizona State. Apparently, he's a big lad, 6'2", 235 pounds.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's about it, really. I've just been writing little bits of notes about them. I can't wait to actually see these guys in action.
Yeah, absolutely.
What you got on him?
Yeah, you're right. 6'2", 235. Had a career highs in 2025 of 14 tackles for loss and 7 sacks, as Tony says, last season. He was sub 4.6 on his 40-yard on a pro day. Seemed to be regarded as a really top prospect in special teams. So, and that's possibly how we'll see the field. But I saw something really good in him about him in this summary. Basically, his weakness is probably coverage. but we've got the 2 guys for that. But he's excellent against the run. He absolutely, once he recognises the play, he absolutely breaks down on the ball and he wraps and plays wide. So he really lets anyone get past him as a tackler. He's a former high school quarterback who processes pre-snap tells from the QB really well, and he communicates. This is the other reason they've gone for him as well. He had the green dot at college, so he was the captain of the defense, calling the plays. So again, high football character. They believe he's got leadership skills in him. A big lad, and I wonder if they might try and convert him to maybe, I wouldn't say convert to an edge, but I think they might use him potentially more sort of in the box, more kind of up front. So coverage is a weakness, but blitz timing, they said, shows real feel with 7 sacks in 2025 coming off of well-timed interior pressures. So yeah, he's really good against the run, apparently. Recognises plays well, but can lose his eyes in zone coverage. So again, for a late round pick, we'll see how it goes. We'll get a lot of special teams action, I believe, to start with, which a lot of these guys do, and then they'll see how they can fit him in. But not a bad pick, I think. Again, they've gone through. They think it's best available. I would rather be going for someone like that they really like than perhaps picking like the 14th best edge rusher. I just, if they got someone they think they can work with, I'd rather they do that.
Yeah.
Oh, Aldo, is this breaking news? Is that been released, has it? Is it on a Thursday it's scheduled out? Aldo is saying the Bears will not play in Spain as speculated. The Bengals and Falcons will play Madrid, Spain, week 9. That must have been just released. Okay. Week 1 games, 49ers, Rams, Australia. We knew that, didn't we? And Cowboys, Giants. I think that's one of these games is in Brazil, isn't it? Leaks. He's got his finger on the pulse, Aldo, isn't he? He's the man.
Insider.
He is. He's our NFL insider. But yeah, Keaton Elliott, good special teams prospect. We'll see where we go with him. And I do wonder if it means that they are perhaps not so hopeful on drip, drip, drip. Yeah, exactly, Commish. Just a little bit. Little teasers, got to keep you interested, got to get the clicks. Potentially, maybe it means there's something not as that work, good going with Noah Sewell's recovery from his Achilles. He had a really nasty Achilles injury, didn't he? Excuse me. So, yeah, we'll see where that goes. And then finally, D-tackle Jordan Vandenberg. I believe he's the first South African-born player drafted. Has a rugby background, and he got a perfect 10 on his athletic score. So, again, that's... Wow. Have you seen the short that the Bears put out of him catching a punt?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, but yeah. First team All ACC in this last season. Apparently, he's got a lot of double teams, holds them well. So I think at that sort of level, we're thinking maybe practice squad potentially compete for depth because we've got so many D tackles now. But maybe it's just a shot in the dark, you don't know. But not got too much about him really, other than he's very athletic, needs a bit of work.
Yeah.
But we'll see what they do with him.
It's quite interesting what you just said. The ex-rugby player, we know what this. Well, being over here, we know what the Springboks. Is it the Springboks? Yeah, the South Africans. Yeah, they're a tough old nation when it comes to rugby. But basically, I've written down. He's played at Penn State, Georgia Tech. He's 6'3", and he's a big lad, and all 310 pounds.
Yeah, but he moves, man. I mean,
yeah.
I think I can't remember where's this. Let me get it. Wait. Right, so this is some crazy stuff on him, man. There we go. 6'3", 310. His short shuttle, right, was his short shuttle drill at his pro day, at the combine was 4.19 seconds. He's tied with Henry Anderson for the best D tackle since 2010. His jumps were similarly impressive. A 36-inch vertical, 911 broad jump, which are both 98th percentile marks. So basically, top 2% athleticism in terms of his jumps. Yeah, agree, man. Van der Bergen packages on the goal line, especially with his power. Fullback. Yeah, we're not learned a lesson from who was it? Who fumbled it? The centre. Anyway, but nice potentially. Yeah, they'll use him somewhere. That's the beauty of this team, isn't it? With Ben Johnson, they're going to get creative with using players everywhere. So,
yeah, and that's one thing I like about this. That's what I really like about this at the moment. It's sort of like we're trying to sort of plug gaps and get a bit of versatility and flexibility. I love all that.
Yeah. 4.94 40-yard time. So, again, that's considered elite for a defensive lineman or a D-tackle. So, very athletic, as we know from his 10 RAS. But that's our draft class, man. Obviously, special mention to a couple of UDFAs they got in. I think Cade and Barnett. Everyone's talking about him, aren't they? Let's find him. He's the guy that they call the Vanilla Gorilla.
All right.
He's an absolute monster. They've mentioned they like him because he plays football like with a nasty demeanour. So he's actually played all the way along the O line for college too. So I think that's him. They said that about versatility. Yeah, we've still got Dan Rochar. Yeah, I think you said that. I saw you on Thursday say that. I think a couple of people have mentioned this shortly. That dare I say that Vandenberg reminds me a bit of Dan Hampton. If we get a player like him, I'll be really happy in the 6th round. That's for sure. That'll be insane. But yeah. So yeah, Caden Barnett is very versatile, big, monstrous, like aggressive, nasty O lineman. We'll see what he does in training camp. Everyone's talking about this Jaron Kump. Careful how you say that one. Jaron Kump, another O lineman, 6'5". He's a centre apparently. Sorry, he's the one that's played every position on the O line during his time in Utah. So he'll get training camp experience with our coaches. And the only thing that worries me about him as a centre is he's 6'5", so 313 pounds. He's a big guy. So 6'5" for a centre with our quarterback being sort of barely 6'1". Kramer, that's it, Armando. Thanks. I knew someone would do it, and someone had come out with it. They knew it. Kramer was the one that fumbled when he put him in on that goal line play. But yeah, we won't hold it against him. They got a long snapper into. Oh, the other news from training camp as well was Squirrel White, wasn't it? He retired. He was. Everyone was watching him closely as a really speedy wide receiver, but he actually retired, didn't he? So I think he's had a serious knee injury. I think it was a PCL, and he's obviously just decided to give the game up. So we won't be seeing any of him. But yeah, and then we got a kicker, Gabriel Placencia, who apparently is built like a linebacker. He's massive, 245 pounds. The hefty lefty they called him. So but he won't be displacing Cairo. No one's displacing Cairo until he decides to either he really falls off a cliff, or decides to give it up. But yeah, there we go. I think we need to move on, mate. We're approaching 52 minutes.
That's quality, mate. That was really interesting. Thanks for the guys contributing to that, because I learned a lot myself about the draft.
Yeah, for your contributions. So I got a little bit of stat stuff for you now, mate, which is I think you're gonna like this. So, are you ready? Oh, there it is. Right. Okay. There was tons of these from the. I'm going to recap some of the bits of the season. Sorry, I just couldn't find my way on my phone. It was hidden down in my notes. Right. Like we said, and we're going to have a really quick run, just some little highlights of last season. But last season was incredible, right? And so I'm going to go over some of the things that we sort of might have missed, some of the things we might have missed from just our incredible season last year. So the 2025 Bears scored at least 16 points in every game. And the last time we did that was in 1985. So 16 points every game at least. And that was like a 40-year record. The 2025 Bears are the only team in the Super Bowl era that have 3 rookies produce 650 or more yards of offense in the same season. So Monangai had 947, Loveland 711, and Burden 689 yards. So that's the first time, or the only team, in the Super Bowl era to have 3 rookies get 650 more yards on offense. So in Johnson we trust, right?
So
you processing that? Yeah. So those three were the highest, according to Pro Sports Football Network. They have their sort of impact metrics they make to grade all the rookies. And those 3 were the highest graded rookies at their position by their impact metrics. So Monangai was graded at 67.2, Loveland 83.1, and Burden 83.8. And I think some of you might have seen already as well that Colston Loveland was PFF's highest graded rookie of all of last year at 84.0. So that's a great
as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everyone was shitting the bed when they picked him over Warren. Everyone was saying we're going to take Warren. I guess Ben Johnson knows what he's doing, doesn't he? So another great stat about Loveland is he had more receiving yards in his first ever playoff game than Travis Kelce has ever had in any playoff game.
That's interesting.
So more yards in game 1 than Travis Kelce has ever had in a playoff game. So the only 2 tight ends in NFL history to have 10-plus targets and 130-plus yards in a playoff game at age 22 or younger are Colston Loveland and Rob Gronkowski, the Gronk. They're the only two to have done that under 22 years old. Another one about Luther Burden, like we talked about him, didn't we? About breaking out this year.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Yeah, this one is insane. I love this stat, man. According to Next Gen Stats, Luther Burden had an average of 4.6 yards of separation in 2025, which is the most by any player in the NFL that had a minimum of 45 targets. So his average was 4.6 yards of separation on every route run, which is the most by any player across the entire league. That's insane. So couple that with his ability after the catch. Once he starts getting his brain in the game, like he had a few mishaps, didn't he, early on? But yeah, we can expect big things of Luther Burden, I think. I really think we can. That's insane stuff, man. He's just going to be legit star. This is the one I told you about earlier. You know, we mentioned before that the Dolphins were bitching that we played too hard. We played too hard in training camp, and there was fights and stuff. But that's the way we play, man. That's the Bears now. And we know this because there was a guy I followed him. There's a guy on Reddit who was keeping stats of the result for the team that we played in the next week. You see what I mean? So after you play the Bears, what result did you get the following week? So as in, did you get a bit of a kick in, regardless of win or lose? Were you sort of, how are you ready to play the next game? And did you know, right, for the 17 games, after the teams played the Bears, their record was they won 2, they lost 14 and tied 1. So teams did not fare well. They won.
Yeah, say that again.
After they played us, our opponents won 2 games all season, and they lost 14 and tied 1.
Wow.
How insane is that? So we play hard football now. We play tough football now, and that comes from the head coach. Yeah. So just to say it again, after they played the Bears, our opponents went 2-14 and 1 for the rest of the season.
That is fucking crazy, man.
Crazy, isn't it? We play tough, man. Yeah. And just a final few. Caleb Williams has now more wins against the Packers than Jay Cutler and Justin Fields combined. Total career. Right. Another fact, I brought this up before the playoff game, I think, but this is from Nick Moriano on X, which I'd just like to reiterate, because people were talking about on defense. I know he gave up all the yards, but the takeaway saved us. But the Bears finished the 2025 regular season as the number 2 red zone defense at home. They only allowed a touchdown at 36% of their visits to the red zone. The only team ahead of them was the Vikings at 33.3. So we still had a really good red zone defense all season. Yeah. You're going to like these.
It's for you, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, it's the takeaway saved us a lot, but they still turned up with plays when they needed it, didn't they? That was the big thing. They made plays when they really needed it. So a couple here, which are, one is, right, this is, again, the Super Bowl era. That was the biggest turnaround in sacks allowed by an offense from one season to the next. The second biggest, in the Super Bowl era. When we last year we gave up 68 sacks, as we know, and this year was 24. So that was the second biggest reduction in sacks allowed in a season in the Super Bowl era, which was second only to the 2002 Lions, who went from 66 sacks in 2001. 2002. 2001 they gave up 66. In 2002. 20. So that's the second largest we had last year.
Guys, and that had to be improved. That had to be improved. Caleb needed protection, didn't he, mate?
Absolutely. Here's one for you. I'll finish with the Packers one. Do you want the Packers one first and then the Caleb Williams? It's got one on Caleb, one on the Packers. What would you like?
Let's finish on. Let's get the crap out of the way first. Let's do the Packers, and then we'll finish on a high with Caleb.
All right, you like this? Like this is so. The Packers, when we beat the Packers in the playoffs, that was only their second loss when leading by 18 or more points since 2000. So when the Packers, since the turn of the century, when the Packers go up by 18 points, until our playoff game, they'd only lost 1 game. So before that game, they were 115 wins and 1 loss when they were leading by 18 points at any stage in the game. That was the second time since 2000 they lost after leading by 18 points. So, yeah, fuck those guys.
That's absolutely crazy.
And we were the comeback kings, man, weren't we? Cardiac Bears. It was amazing. So, talking to those, that's where I'm going to finish. That's where I'm going to finish this for this week's stat bomb. Is Caleb Williams in that Packers playoff game had his 7th fourth quarter comeback of the season. So that's 7 in the season, including playoffs, which is the most by any quarterback ever under the age of 25. He's legit, man. He's legit. That's it.
Quality stats there, Jace, mate.
Thanks,
Quality.
mate. That is Aldo says sounds like my farts. Thank you for that. That's Shorty's clip. Armando, great to see you fellas back on the air. Thank you so much, Armando. It's great to see you in here as well, as always. You're a great supporter of the channel, and we really appreciate it. Booker is in the house. Salute, Booker. Good to see you, man.
I wonder where he was. He's always on.
He's always around, and he's always there. Yeah, and that was the bottom-rated defense. Imagine this year. Absolutely, man. Yeah, Crimson. Did the Packers blow several leads the last few years? Sounds like a pattern. Hopefully. Yeah, exactly. Brilliant. But there you go, mate. That's it. I'm glad I got those off my chest. I've had them in my back pocket since the end of the season. So there you go. Love it. You know I love a stat.
Well delivered as well, mate. That's good stuff there. Good stuff.
Thank you very much. Very kind of you to say so. Anyway, highlights of the season. Well, I'm still watching highlights from last year because it was just record-breaking, mind-blowing, just an unbelievable season, wasn't it? So we said we'd just have a quick run-through of any sort of key moments, highlights, what would be just, happiest memories of last year, because I'm still living in the past at the minute.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm glad we're doing it now because we could have jumped on the bandwagon and done it straight after the Super Bowl, but it's given me a real chance to. And I think last year, looking back, obviously we know how good Caleb is. He's fucking immense. But last season it was the whole team, and I was just watching some of the videos. We went to Vegas. We were going to lose to the bloody Raiders. We were going to lose to them. They were kicking a field goal, to win the game, and our boys blocked it, and we got and silly little things like that. But I think I don't know about you, Jace, because I know your wife watches the NFL. Mine doesn't, but I think I woke her up several times last season through the excitement of late night finishes.
No, did he?
and you know what I mean? It was just so exciting, and I think for me. It's been on my mind a while now. I think for me, my player of the season last year, we're playing the Bengals. It's 41-42. There's 25 seconds left. We're on our 40-yard line. The snap goes to Williams. He falls back 5, 6, 7 yards, and he throws it, obviously, to Colston Loveland. Now, the target was to get within kicking range to win the game. But Colston Loveland gets whacked by two Bengals defenders, and he bounces off of them, grabs the ball, head down, and he fucking runs for a touchdown. And for me, I ran around the house with that one because the excitement level for me, it was so exciting. Like a young tight end winning a game like that, it was just absolutely amazing. Obviously, most people are going to talk about that fantastic throw to Cole Kmet from Williams against the Rams and stuff like that. But for me, that was the spot that I got, and I was running around. Well, you've seen me; I can't run very fast, and I was running around the house like, and it was amazing. And for me, it was just the excitement of the season. Whereas going back 2-3 seasons ago, there was no excitement on a Sunday, man. It was sort of like who are we going to get battered by, who are we going to struggle against, and I'm a very optimistic person. And I want the Bears to win all the time, but I just couldn't see any. But this season, my God, I couldn't wait for Sunday. I couldn't wait.
Oh wow! Alex, as my name says, he was at the Cincy game, 10 beers deep when Colson scored. I bet he went nuts. That was incredible, wasn't it?
Good old boy. 10 beers in, good, but I bet that cost him.
Absolutely, yeah. King Booker says, I can't remember who said it, but someone said that this was the worst Caleb that we will see. If that was the worst, then buckle up. Holy shit, man. That's This, and we'll talk about next season in a bit, but when he's in the second year of James Johnson's offense, man.
And I think what was quite good last year when we had our sort of like chat going through some of the games and all that, and that was quite a nice bit of banter as well, wasn't it? And then obviously you, Chris, Shorty, having a bit of banter, and it's nice to interact. But for you, what was your sort of like fondest memories from last season, mate?
One of mine was there's a few, right? And there's
too many.
Exactly, but I think in terms of sort of turning points or significant moments or just things that really, for some reason meant something to us. And one of them was the Washington game. I know that people were sick. Like, I know Shorty was really pissed off we were going to Washington again, wasn't he? After the previous year, But I'm the sort of person who wants to run to that. I'm like, let's do it again. That gives you the very next season we go in there, and we're going to just put it right. That's what I wanted to do because I didn't want that hanging over us because that was always going to be our last experience of Washington was the bloody Fail Mary. So I thought, I want to go there and I will beat them. I want to show them what Jaden Daniels is, show them what Caleb is, just go and show them what we're made of and just put it right. And that obviously finished spectacularly, didn't it? With Jaden Williams fumbling, throwing picks, Jaden Daniels, sorry. And yeah, it was that was a big moment for me. I'm like, yes, we've gone back in there and then we've beat them. And so all that media talk about, Williams versus Daniels, the Commanders and Dan Quinn, the head coach, it's put to bed. And that was a big moment for me. I think special teams showed up several occasions, like you said, and winning a field goal, kick to win it, which was that game, as well as the Minnesota one. Special teams with Duvernay with that epic return against the Vikings. And then obviously blocking.
I actually wrote that down myself, that one. That was amazing. Brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. That won us the game, that return. So special teams matters, doesn't it? So that one, and the other kind of big one was certainly, like we said earlier, the Bengals finished, but the Cleveland game, when, it's an elite defense. All the talk was about Myles Garrett breaking the sack record against us and getting Caleb Williams. We took them apart. We took them to pieces. Again, they're one of the best defenses in the NFL. And then the other big one is, of course, going to Philadelphia and running the ball down their fucking throats. The Super Bowl champions in their backyard, we absolutely destroyed them. The score didn't do it justice. We absolutely murdered them. And it's just brilliant. That was I think, kind of realised, I thought to myself, we've arrived now. This is us. We've arrived. We've just gone down to the Super Bowl champions and just run the ball down their throat with all the sort of praise that they get. They do a great job. Howie Roseman is great there. The players they've got there, they've got like a Georgia defense, haven't they? All those sort of dogs they have on the defense. And we absolutely run the ball down their fucking throat. And it's just a joy to watch, man. It was, those are sort of my biggest moments. And of course, the Green Bay games, man. That was, just insane. Those were some of that. I'll remember them for the rest of my fucking life, man. But now that's one of the sad things though. Watching, I don't know if you know, on the Game Pass. I don't know if you've seen it. You watch yours differently to me, but I got the NFL Game Pass, and they've got a 55-minute highlight reel of Caleb's best plays of the season, and it kind of brought a tear to my eye how many of them were to DJ Moore. So, so we need our guys to step up, and I think they will. I think Ben Johnson is such a genius, such a flipping mastermind at offensive creation that people will step up. And Loveland's going to be a linchpin of the offense. We've got Cole Kmet, we've got the guys out in the backfield, and we've got enough weapons in the receiver room to. Exactly, Booker. Man, what have I done there? What a press. Where am I? Sugar. Okay, right. Booker says they did all that while learning. Now they understand the concepts, and that's what excites me most about next season, which might as well go to now, as we're an hour and 7 minutes in. About next season is just what we're going to do in second year of Ben Johnson, man. It's going to be absolutely unbelievable. I can't wait.
I just think we need to get off to a good start, keep the momentum going from last season, and obviously a winning mentality. It just breeds confidence, and if it's a winning team, it makes it so much easier for the new guys coming in as well. I just hope, same as last year. Did we ride our luck in a few games? Yeah, we had a bit of lady luck, but you know what? You have to work for that sometimes.
You make your own luck.
And,
exactly.
Yeah, and I just think same again, mate. And if you can give me the same excitement as last season, it'd be amazing. And I've not had a bad experience being a Chicago Bears fan, but apart from the last 30 odd years.
Apart from the football,
40 years. And now it's got to a point where I'm seeing a lot more merchandise come around. You know where I work, and I see a lot of people every day, and there's always merchandise, people wearing stuff from baseball, hockey, football, everything. And I've seen so much Bears stuff lately. It's fantastic, and it just creates a higher profile. And the way the city was buzzing after last season, I just hope that momentum carries on in the bars and restaurants and fan zones through all the next season, mate. Yeah.
Scrolls is giving Alex some banter with his. He says, "Good to see you, Scrolls." He says, "Poor Alex needs permission from his wife because he was saying, no, that was the wrong one." Alex is saying he praised the Bears play in Miami the second week of October this year. He's off the following week for the kids' fall break. My wife said we can go if we play them. He's just talking about getting a family holiday. Scrolls, man, it'd be nice. And Booker's saying this season I don't even give a shit about Green Bay. They're an underachieving team that is constantly talked about as contenders. I want the Bears to beat the shit out of Detroit. Yeah, that still grips me a little bit, Booker. They swept us this year, didn't they? Again, so yeah, everyone loves Green Bay, don't they? For some reason, but we'll put them in our place, shall we? Hopefully next season we'll just do the same again. Sweep the division would be nice, wouldn't it? It always makes you feel have a nice little warm feeling inside when you sweep the division. Well, excuse me. Yeah, my Shorty's saying, Alex, the only reason I don't want that earlier game of Miami is it's way too hot there. Then we usually lose those games. Yeah, because whose is it? It's the it's the Bucks, isn't it? That have the opposition sideline in the sun. That's dirty, man. That is dirty. If they can do that, then if they can do that, then we should be allowed to turn off the heaters on the other sideline. That's no different to that, is it? So when they put the home sideline at Tampa Bay is in the shade, and the away one is in that blazing sun. Right. So we should be allowed to turn the heaters off if they come to town for that reason.
100% agree, mate.
Anyway, using the weather, but yeah. Ryan's saying to see, mate. He says, Dave, it feels different in Chicago. I bet it does, man. I was there for Christmas two Christmases ago. Obviously, the Ben Johnson stumble-bum play, against us. We lost both games that we were there, but it was still a great experience, including that 6-3 Seahawks shit show. Yeah. But that was awesome, a Thursday night game. But yes, I bet it does. I can't even imagine what the city feels like now when the Bears are like they are, man. But yeah.
Ryan was very kind. He took me and my boy to a tailgate party on a Thursday night when Bears were playing Washington. Yeah. And he's a good lad, and he looked after us last year. Me and my daughter, and him and his family looked after us. He's a great fella. So thanks for coming on today, Ryan, mate.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, thanks to everyone in the chat. I think we should probably wrap it up then, shall we, mate? Are you got anything else you want to add? Anything else?
No, I'd like to say thank you to everybody. You know what, Jason, when we discussed coming on here tonight, I didn't think many people would listen, but you know what? The interactions here has been fantastic. So really appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, these guys are brilliant. They're awesome supporters of the channel. I get to see these guys always in the Thursday night show, and so many of them come here to support us too. So we really appreciate you guys being there, listening to us two British idiots talk about the Bears. But yeah, we love it, man. It's really great to chat, mate. Really happy to sort of run over the off season with you. We'll have to do it again soon. Let's just wrap it up, shall we? If we're going to stop wittering on. If you're good to get out of here, should we end it?
I'm good to go.
End it with a 3-2-1 Bears. Bear down, brother.
Bear down.
We are Bears. We are Bears. We are Bears. The British Bears.